The alarm bells rang through the medical ship like angry birds. Dr. Kethvar dropped his coffee and ran down the white hallway. His forearms moved quickly as he grabbed his medical kit. The other doctors and nurses were running too. "Emergency call from Sector 7, said Thisara. Her tentacles were moving fast as she worked at the control panel. "It's a human ship. They need help right now." Dr. Kethvar had never treated humans before. He had heard stories about them. Some aliens said humans were tough. Others said they were crazy. Most aliens said both things were true. The communication screen lit up. A human face appeared. The man had brown hair and tired eyes. He was bleeding from a cut on his face, but he was smiling. "Hello there," the human said. "This is Jake Morrison from the Pioneer's Dream. We had a little accident with some space rocks. My friend Amy is hurt pretty bad. Could you give us a hand?" Dr. Kethvar looked at his team. A little accident? The human was bleeding and asking for help like he was ordering food at a restaurant. "How bad are the injuries?" Dr. Kethvar asked. His voice translator made the words sound right for humans. Jake touched the cut on his face. "Well, I got a piece of metal stuck in my belly. Amy has a broken arm and some cuts. Nothing too serious, but we could use some help." The alien medical team looked at each other. Metal stuck in his belly? That should be a very serious injury. But Jake was talking like it was just a small problem. "We are coming to help you right now," Dr. Kethvar said. "Please stay still and do not move around." Jake laughed. "Don't worry about me, Doc. I'm moving around just fine. Amy's the one who needs the real help. She can't use her arm right now." The screen went dark. Dr. Kethvar turned to his team. Thisara was a nurse from the water planet Aquarius. Her blue skin was turning purple with worry. Dr. Mordag was from the insect world of Crixtal. His big black eyes were wide with surprise. "Did that human say he has metal in his belly?" Dr. Mordag asked. His wings made a buzzing sound when he was nervous. "Yes," Dr. Kethvar said, "and he was walking around like nothing was wrong." "Maybe. Humans are different from other species," Thisara said. Her tentacles were still shaking. "But metal in the belly should kill anyone." Dr. Kethvar had been a doctor for 30 years. He had treated many different alien species. Some were strong, some were weak, some were strange. But he had never seen anyone act normal with a piece of metal in their body. "Get the emergency medical bay ready," he told his team. "Bring all the trauma equipment. If these humans are as hurt as they say, we need to be ready for anything." The medical ship moved through space toward the human vessel. Dr. Kethvar looked at the scanner readings. The human ship was badly damaged. There were holes in the hull. The power systems were working, but just barely. "How are they still alive in that ship?" Dr. Mordag asked. "Humans are from Earth," Thisara said. She was reading from her computer. "Earth is rated as a very dangerous planet. Maybe that makes them stronger." Dr. Kethvar had heard about Earth. Most aliens would not visit there. The gravity was too strong. The weather was too wild. The animals were too mean. Only the bravest aliens ever went to Earth, and most of them came back with scary stories. "Get ready to dock with their ship," Dr. Kethvar said. "We need to help them fast." The two ships connected with a loud bang. Dr. Kethvar put on his medical gear. His team did the same. They walked through the connecting tunnel between the ships. The human ship smelled like burned metal and something else Dr. Kethvar could not name. The lights were dim. There were sparks coming from broken equipment. This ship should not be keeping anyone alive. "Hello," called a voice. "We're back here." Dr. Kethvar and his team followed the voice. They found Jake Morrison in the engine room. He was working on some broken machinery. There was indeed a piece of metal sticking out of his stomach. Blood had dried on his shirt, but he was working like nothing was wrong. "Oh, hey, Doc," Jake said. He wiped his hands on a dirty cloth. "Thanks for coming so fast. Amy's in the medical bay. She's pretty banged up." Dr. Kethvar stared at the metal in Jake's stomach. It was at least 6 inches long. It should have cut through important organs. Jake should be dead or dying. Instead, he was fixing his ship. "Sir, you need immediate medical attention," Dr. Kethvar said. "That metal could kill you." Jake looked down at his stomach. "Oh, this old thing? Yeah, it hurts a bit, but I've had worse. You should see Amy first. She really needs help." Dr. Mordag made a small squeaking sound. Thaisara's tentacles went completely still. Dr. Kethavar felt dizzy. In 30 years of medicine, he had never seen anything like this. Jake led them to the ship's medical bay. A woman was sitting on a bed. Her left arm was bent in a way that arms should not bend. There were deep cuts on her face and hands. She was reading a book. "Hey, Amy," Jake said. "The doctors are here." Amy looked up and smiled. "Hi there. Sorry to bother you. I know you probably have more important patients, but Jake insisted on calling for help." Dr. Kethvar looked at Amy's arm. The bone was clearly broken. She should be screaming in pain. She should be unconscious. Instead, she was reading. "Does your arm hurt?" Dr. Kethvar asked. "Sure, it hurts," Amy said. "But pain is just weakness, leaving the body, right? I can deal with it." Dr. Kethavar realized he was about to learn something new about medicine, something that would change everything he thought he knew about treating patients. These humans were not like any other species in the galaxy. "Let's get you both to our medical ship," he said. "We need to take a closer look at your injuries." Jake and Amy looked at each other and shrugged. They followed the alien medical team back to the Serenity's Hope. Dr. Kethvar was already planning the most unusual medical case of his career. The medical bay of the Serenity's Hope was the most advanced in the galaxy. White lights made everything bright and clean. Machines hummed quietly as they waited to save lives. Dr. Kethvar had treated hundreds of patients here. None of them had ever walked in with metal sticking out of their body. Jake Morrison sat on the examination table and looked around. "Nice place you got here, Doc. Very shiny." Dr. Kethavar was still staring at the metal piece in Jake's stomach. "How are you? Not in terrible pain right now?" "Oh, I am," Jake said. "It stings pretty good. But you learn to deal with pain when you grow up on Earth. My dad always said pain is just your body's way of telling you that you're still alive." Amy Carter was on the next table. Dr. Mordag was looking at her broken arm with his scanner. The readings made no sense. The bone was completely broken in 2 places, but Amy's body was already starting to heal itself. "This is impossible," Dr. Mordag whispered. "Her bone should be causing massive shock to her system. She should be unconscious." Amy heard him. "Unconscious? From a broken arm? I broke both legs when I was 12 and still walked 3 miles home. My mom was mad that I got my shoes dirty." Thaisara's tentacles stopped moving completely. On her water world, breaking a bone was a very serious injury. Most Aquarians needed months to recover from something like that. "You walked 3 miles. With 2 broken legs?" Thaisara asked. "Well, it was more like limping," Amy said. "And it really hurt. But what else was I going to do? Sit there and wait for someone to find me?" Dr. Kethavar activated his medical scanner and pointed it at Jake. The readings that came back made him check the machine twice. According to the scanner, the metal had gone through Jake's stomach and liver. It had also nicked a major blood vessel. Jake should have bled to death hours ago. "Your blood pressure is normal," Dr. Kethvar said slowly. "Your heart rate is normal. You have a piece of metal through your liver, and your body is acting like nothing happened." Jake shrugged. "Bodies are pretty good at fixing themselves if you give them a chance. Plus, I've had worse injuries than this. Worse than metal through." "Your liver?" Dr. Mordag asked. His wings were buzzing with disbelief. "Sure," Jake said. "When I was in the army, I got shot 3 times in 1 day, kept fighting for 6 more hours before anyone noticed. The medic was really mad at me for not reporting it." The 3 alien doctors looked at each other. Dr. Kethavar had read about human military forces. He thought the stories were made up to scare enemies. Now he was starting to think they might be true. "Let's start with basic treatment," Dr. Kethavar said. "We need to remove that metal and clean the wound." Actually, Doc, I was thinking I might just leave it in there for now, Jake said. It's not bleeding anymore, and pulling it out might make things worse. I've seen guys die from pulling out shrapnel too fast. Dr. Kethvar felt his world turning upside down. In all his medical training, the first rule was always to remove foreign objects from the body immediately, but Jake was suggesting the opposite. You want to leave metal in your body? Dr. Kethvar asked. Just until we can do it right, Jake said. My body has already started healing around it. See? The bleeding stopped hours ago. Dr. Kethvar looked closer. Jake was right. The wound had already started to close around the metal. The human body was healing itself in a way that should be impossible. Meanwhile, Dr. Mordag was trying to set Amy's broken arm. Every time he touched it, she would wince but not cry out. This is going to hurt, Dr. Mordag warned. Everything hurts, Amy said. Just do what you need to do. Dr. Mordag carefully moved the broken bone back into place. Amy gritted her teeth and turned slightly pale, but she did not scream. She did not even make a sound. How did you learn to handle pain like this? Thaisara asked. You have to, on Earth, Amy said. Everything on our planet wants to kill you. The weather, the animals, the plants, even some of the rocks. If you can't handle pain, you don't last long. What do you mean the rocks want to kill you? Dr. Mordag asked. Volcanic eruptions, landslides, earthquakes, Amy said. Earth is always moving and shaking and trying to shake us off. You learn to be tough or you don't survive. Dr. Kethvar was beginning to understand. These humans came from a world so dangerous that surviving childhood required being tougher than most adult aliens. No wonder they could handle injuries that would kill other species. What about medical care on Earth? Dr. Kethvar asked. How do human doctors treat these injuries? Jake and Amy looked at each other and laughed. Well, first they'd tell you to walk it off, Jake said. Then they give you some ice and maybe a bandage. If it's really bad, they might give you some medicine for the pain. Walk it off? Thaisara asked. Keep moving around, Amy explained. Don't lie down and feel sorry for yourself. Movement helps the body heal faster. Dr. Kethavar's medical training said that injured patients should rest and stay still. But these humans were suggesting the opposite. Everything he knew about medicine was being challenged. On your world, do doctors remove metal from the body immediately? Dr. Mordag asked. Depends, Jake said. If it's bleeding bad, sure. But if it's not causing problems, sometimes it's safer to leave it alone. I know a guy who's had bullet fragments in his chest for 20 years. Never bothered him. The alien medical team was quiet for a long moment. They were realizing that human medicine might be completely different from everything they had learned. Maybe we should learn about human medical practices before we try to treat you, Dr. Kethvar said. Good idea, Doc, Amy said. Human bodies are weird. We're built to take damage and keep going. Sometimes the best medicine is just time and stubbornness. Dr. Kethvar looked at his patients again. Jake was still sitting calmly with metal in his stomach. Amy was moving her fingers to test her newly set arm. Both of them were acting like their injuries were just minor inconveniences. He was beginning to realize that treating humans was going to require learning a whole new kind of medicine. Dr. Kethvar decided to start over. He would examine these humans like he had never seen their species before. Maybe that was the right approach. I want to do a complete body scan on both of you, he said. We need to understand how human bodies work. Sure thing, Doc, Jake said. Just don't be surprised if you find some weird stuff. Humans are pretty strange compared to most aliens. Dr. Kethvar activated the full body scanner. It was the most advanced medical equipment in the galaxy. The machine could see inside any living being down to the cellular level. The scanner hummed to life and began its work on Jake. Immediately, the readings started showing impossible things. Jake's bones were 3 times thicker than any other species Dr. Kethvar had seen. His muscles were packed with extra fibers that made them incredibly strong. Your bone density is off the charts, Dr. Kethvar said. These readings suggest your bones are almost as hard as metal. Yeah, we get that a lot, Jake said. Earth has heavy gravity. Our bones had to get thick or we'd break every time we fell down. The scanner moved to Jake's internal organs. Dr. Kethavar's eyes went wide. Humans had backup systems for everything. 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, even backup blood vessels that could take over if the main ones were damaged. You have redundant organ systems, Dr. Mordag said. His voice was full of amazement. If one kidney fails, the other can do the work of both. Evolution, Amy said from the next table. Earth kept trying to kill us, so our bodies learned to have spare parts. The scanner showed Jake's liver. The metal had indeed gone through it, but the organ was already growing new tissue around the wound. The healing was happening so fast that Dr. Kethavar could actually watch it on the screen. Your liver is regenerating damaged tissue in real time, Dr. Kethavar said. This should take weeks, but it's happening in hours. Livers are good at that, Jake said. I knew a guy who lost half his liver in an accident. Grew back in 6 months, good as new. Dr. Kethvar moved the scanner to examine Jake's blood. Human blood was unlike anything in the medical databases. It carried more oxygen than should be possible. It clotted faster than any other species, and it was full of chemicals that fought infection and helped heal wounds. Your blood is like liquid medicine, Thisara said. It's designed to heal your body automatically. Has to be, Jake said. We get hurt a lot on Earth. If our blood couldn't fix us up, we'd all be dead by age 10. Now it was Amy's turn for the scanner. Her broken arm showed the same impossible healing. The bone fragments were already starting to grow back together. Her body was producing new bone cells at an incredible rate. How long do broken bones take to heal on Earth? Dr. Mordag asked. Depends on the break, Amy said. Simple fracture like this, maybe 6 weeks if I'm careful, 4 weeks if I keep using it. You use a broken arm while it's healing? Thisara asked. Well, you can't just stop living because you broke something, Amy said. I've got work to do. The arm will heal whether I baby it or not. Dr. Kethavar scanned Amy's cuts and scrapes. Her skin was already forming new tissue. What should have been serious wounds were closing themselves without any medical intervention. Your cellular regeneration is beyond anything we've seen, Dr. Kethvar said. You heal like you have built-in medical nanobots. We call it a good immune system, Amy said. Though I guess it's pretty good compared to other species. The scanner revealed more amazing things about human anatomy. Their hearts were oversized and incredibly strong. Their lungs could process air that would poison most aliens. Their nervous systems could shut off pain when necessary, allowing them to function even with serious injuries. Your pain tolerance is remarkable, Dr. Mordag said. The scanner shows you're experiencing significant discomfort, but your stress hormones are barely elevated. Pain is just information, Jake said. It tells you something is wrong. Once you know that, you can choose whether to pay attention to it or not. Dr. Kethvar was taking notes as fast as he could. Everything about human physiology was designed for survival in the worst possible conditions. Their bodies were like biological tanks, built to take damage and keep functioning. What is the gravity on Earth compared to standard galactic measurement? Dr. Kethvar asked. About twice as heavy as most worlds, Amy said. Visitors from other planets usually need special suits just to walk around without falling over. That explained the muscle density and bone thickness. Humans had evolved in gravity that would crush most other species. No wonder they were so tough. What about your atmosphere? Thisara asked. Pretty toxic to most aliens, Jake said. Lots of oxygen. Most species can't handle that much. Burns their lungs out. Dr. Kethavar checked his readings again. Human lungs were indeed processing an atmosphere that would be deadly to his own species. They needed that much oxygen to fuel their incredibly active metabolism. Your bodies are constantly repairing themselves, Dr. Kethvar said. Even when you're not injured, your cells are replacing themselves at an incredible rate. Has to happen, Amy said. Earth is full of radiation, toxins, diseases, and all kinds of things that try to break down our bodies. If we couldn't repair ourselves constantly, we'd fall apart. The scanner finished its work. Dr. Kethavar looked at all the data. These humans were biological marvels. They were built to survive in conditions that would kill almost any other known species. I need to contact the Galactic Medical Database, Dr. Kethavar said. I need to learn more about your species before I try to treat you. Good idea, Doc, Jake said. Treating humans like other aliens is a good way to accidentally kill us. We're pretty different. How are we different? Dr. Mordag asked. Amy and Jake looked at each other and grinned. Well, Amy said, for starters, most of the things that cure other species will poison us. And most of the things that poison other species don't bother us at all. Dr. Kethavar felt a chill run through his body. He had been about to give these humans standard galactic medical treatments, treatments that might have killed them instead of helping them. What should I not give you? He asked quickly. Pretty much anything in your medicine cabinet, Jake said. Human chemistry is weird. We're probably immune to your poisons and allergic to your cures. Dr. Kethavar realized he was dealing with the most challenging medical case of his career. These humans weren't just tough. They were completely different from every other species he knew how to treat. Dr. Kethavar stared at his computer screen. The Galactic Medical Database had information on 847 different species. Humans were listed, but the file was marked with red warning symbols. Warning. Species exhibits extreme physiological deviation from galactic norms, he read aloud. Standard medical protocols may prove ineffective or harmful. Recommend species-specific training before treatment. That doesn't sound good, Thesera said. Her tentacles were curled with worry. Dr. Kethavar kept reading. Caution. Human blood chemistry incompatible with most universal medications. Healing nanobots rejected by immune system. Pain management drugs show paradoxical effects. Jake Morrison was sitting on the examination table, still with the metal piece in his stomach. He was reading a human book while Dr. Kethavar tried to figure out how to help him. Find anything useful, Doc? Jake asked. The database says that normal galactic medicine doesn't work on humans, Dr. Kethavar said, but it doesn't say what does work. That's because human medicine is pretty basic, Amy said. She was testing her broken arm by moving her fingers. We mostly just clean wounds, set bones, and wait for our bodies to fix themselves. Dr. Mordag buzzed his wings nervously. What about infection? Surely you have medicine for that? Sure, Jake said. But our medicine would probably kill you guys, just like your medicine would kill us. Dr. Kethavar decided to try anyway. He prepared a dose of universal antibiotic, the safest medicine in the galaxy. Every known species could tolerate it. I want to give you something to prevent infection, he told Jake. What kind of something? Jake asked. He had stopped reading and was paying attention now. Universal antibiotic. It's completely safe for all species. Jake and Amy looked at each other with worried expressions. Doc, I really don't think that's a good idea, Amy said. Human bodies don't like alien medicine. This is completely safe, Dr. Kethavar insisted. I've used it on hundreds of patients. Yeah, but none of those patients were human, Jake said. Trust me on this one. My body will probably try to fight off your medicine like it's a poison. Dr. Kethavar was a trained medical professional. He had studied for years. He knew what he was doing. But these humans were making him doubt everything he had learned. Let me try a very small dose, he said, just to see how you react. Jake sighed. Okay, Doc, but I'm telling you right now this is going to go badly. Dr. Kethavar injected a tiny amount of the antibiotic into Jake's arm. Within seconds, Jake's skin turned red around the injection site. His breathing became fast and shallow. That's not good, Jake said. His voice was tight with pain. Amy jumped off her table, forgetting about her broken arm. He's having an allergic reaction. Dr. Kethvar quickly grabbed his emergency kit. Jake's body was rejecting the medicine violently. His immune system was attacking the antibiotic like it was a deadly poison. "I need to give you something to stop the reaction," Dr. Kethvar said. "No more alien medicine," Amy shouted. "You're just making it worse." Jake was starting to shake. His skin was getting redder. Dr. Kethvar had never seen such a strong reaction to universal antibiotic. "What do I do?" Dr. Kethvar asked. He felt helpless. "Water," Jake said through gritted teeth. "Lots of water. My body needs to flush this stuff out." Thysiara brought Jake a large container of water. He drank it all in one long gulp, then asked for more. "More water," he said, "and something salty. My body is going to try to sweat this poison out." Dr. Mordag brought salt tablets from the emergency supplies. Jake swallowed several of them and asked for more water. Slowly, the red color began to fade from Jake's skin. His breathing returned to normal. The allergic reaction was ending, but it had taken 20 minutes of fear and worry. "Are you okay?" Dr. Kethvar asked. "Yeah, I'm fine now," Jake said. "But that's why we don't take alien medicine. Our bodies think it's trying to kill us." Dr. Kethvar sat down heavily. He had almost killed his patient by trying to help him. Everything he knew about medicine was useless with these humans. "What about pain medicine?" he asked. "Surely there's something safe I can give you for the pain." "Pain medicine doesn't work on humans the way it works on other species," Amy said. "Most of your pain drugs just make us sick without actually stopping the pain." "Then how do you manage pain?" Thysiara asked. Jake pointed to his head. "Mind over matter. We learn to ignore pain when we have to." "You can just decide not to feel pain?" Dr. Mordag asked. "Not exactly," Amy said. "We still feel it. We just don't let it stop us from doing what we need to do." Dr. Kethvar tried a different approach. "What about healing accelerators, medicine, to help your wounds heal faster?" Jake and Amy both shook their heads. "Our bodies already heal as fast as they can," Jake said. "Trying to make them heal faster usually just makes things worse." "What about the metal in your stomach?" Dr. Kethvar asked. "How do we remove it safely?" "Very carefully," Jake said, "and probably not with alien tools. Human anatomy is different. What works for other species might damage things that are important for humans." Dr. Kethvar was beginning to understand the real problem. It wasn't just that humans were tough. It was that they were so different from other species that normal medical knowledge didn't apply to them at all. "What do human doctors do when someone has metal stuck in them?" he asked. "Depends on where it is and what it's doing," Amy said. "Sometimes they take it out right away. Sometimes they leave it alone. Sometimes they wait and see what happens." "Wait and see?" Dr. Mordag asked. "That doesn't sound very medical." Jake laughed. "Human medicine is a lot more wait and see than alien medicine. Our bodies are good at fixing themselves if you don't interfere too much." Dr. Kethvar looked at his medical equipment. All of it was designed for alien physiology. None of it was meant for humans. He was starting to realize that the best thing he could do for these patients might be to do nothing at all. "So what do you suggest?" he asked. "Let us heal ourselves," Jake said. "Give us some basic supplies and stay out of our way. We'll be fine." It went against everything Dr. Kethvar had learned about medicine. But after nearly poisoning Jake with safe medicine, he was willing to try the human approach. Dr. Kethvar spent the night reading everything he could find about Earth. What he discovered made him understand why humans were so different from every other species in the galaxy. Earth was classified as a Class 12 deathworld. That was the highest danger rating possible. Most aliens would die within hours of landing on Earth, even with protective equipment. "Listen to this," Dr. Kethvar said to his team the next morning. He read from his computer. "Earth experiences regular mass, extinction events, asteroid impacts, supervolcano eruptions, ice ages, and magnetic pole reversals occur with unusual frequency." "No wonder humans are so tough," Thysiara said. "Their planet keeps trying to kill everything on it. Dr. Kethvar kept reading. Earth's gravity is 2.3 times galactic standard. The atmosphere contains 21% oxygen, which is toxic to most species. Surface temperatures range from minus 40 degrees to plus 50 degrees Celsius. Those are deadly extremes, Dr. Mordag said. How does anything survive there? It gets worse, Dr. Kethvar said. Earth experiences violent weather systems including hurricanes, tornadoes, blizzards, and electrical storms. The planet has active geology with frequent earthquakes and volcanic activity. Amy Carter walked into the medical bay while Dr. Kethvar was reading. Her broken arm was in a simple sling that she had made herself. She looked much better than she had the day before. Reading about our lovely home planet? She asked. It sounds like a nightmare, Thisara said. How do you live there? Amy laughed. You learn to adapt. Earth doesn't care if you're ready for it or not. It throws everything it has at you, and you either get tough or you die. Dr. Kethvar found more information. It says here that Earth has over 8 million different species of life, and most of them are trying to eat each other. That's about right, Amy said. We've got poisonous plants, venomous animals, disease-carrying insects, and predators that can kill you in about 50 different ways. What about the ocean? Dr. Mordog asked. Oh, the ocean is trying to kill you too, Amy said cheerfully. Sharks, jellyfish, poisonous fish, crushing pressure, freezing water, and storms that can sink ships the size of cities. Dr. Kethvar was starting to understand. Humans didn't evolve on a normal planet. They evolved in a death trap that constantly tested every living thing to its limits. Your entire evolutionary history is one of survival against impossible odds, he said. Pretty much, Amy said. If your ancestors couldn't survive being struck by lightning, eaten by bears, poisoned by plants, frozen by ice ages, or burned by volcanoes, then you didn't have ancestors. Jake Morrison joined them in the medical bay. He was walking normally, despite still having metal in his stomach. He had found some human food supplies and was eating breakfast. Morning, Doc, he said. How's the research going? I'm learning that humans are miracle survivors, Dr. Kethvar said. Everything about your biology makes sense now. How so? Jake asked. Your thick bones evolved to survive heavy gravity and constant impacts. Your redundant organs evolved because Earth keeps trying to damage them. Your incredible healing ability evolved because you get injured constantly. And our high pain tolerance evolved because everything on Earth hurts, Amy added. If we couldn't handle pain, we'd spend our whole lives crying. Dr. Kethvar found a section about human diseases. It says here that humans regularly survive illnesses that would kill most galactic species. We have to, Jake said. Earth is full of bacteria, viruses, parasites, and all kinds of microscopic things trying to kill us. Our immune systems work over time just to keep us alive. That's why your immune system attacked my medicine so violently, Dr. Kethvar realized. It's designed to destroy anything foreign. Exactly, Amy said. Our bodies assume that anything new is probably trying to kill us, which on Earth is usually true. Dr. Mordag was reading over Dr. Kethvar's shoulder. It says that humans can survive without food for weeks and without water for days. Has to be that way, Jake said. Earth doesn't always provide regular meals. Sometimes you have to go without for a while. What about temperature extremes? Thisara asked. Humans can survive in temperatures that would kill us, Dr. Kethvar said, reading from his screen. They can function in heat that would cook most species, and cold that would freeze us solid. We're pretty good at adapting, Amy said. Put us anywhere from the desert to the Arctic, and we'll figure out how to survive. Dr. Kethvar found information about human physical capabilities. Your strength and endurance are far beyond galactic norms. Humans can run for hours without stopping. Persistence hunting, Jake explained. Our ancestors would chase animals until the animals got too tired to run anymore. Most predators are faster than humans, but humans can run longer than anything. Else? You hunted by exhausting your prey? Dr. Mordag asked. Still do sometimes, Amy said. Humans are the ultimate endurance athletes. We might not be the fastest or strongest, but we just keep going when everything else gives up. Dr. Kethvar was amazed. Your entire species is designed for survival in the worst possible conditions. That's evolution for you, Jake said. Earth kept testing us with harder and harder challenges. The ones who could handle it survived and had kids. The ones who couldn't handle it became fossil fuel. Fossil fuel? Thaisara asked. Dead things that got buried and turned into energy sources, Amy explained. Earth has been killing things for so long that we power our civilization with the compressed remains of ancient life. Dr. Kethvar leaned back in his chair. Everything made sense now. Humans weren't just tough by accident. They were the product of millions of years of surviving on the most dangerous planet in the galaxy. No wonder standard medical treatments don't work on you, he said. You evolved to survive things that would kill any other species. Now you're getting it, Doc, Jake said. Human medicine isn't about fancy treatments. It's about helping our bodies do what they already know how to do, which is survive against all odds, Amy added. Dr. Kethvar realized he needed to completely change his approach to treating these patients. He wasn't dealing with a normal medical case. He was dealing with the toughest species in the galaxy. After learning about Earth's deadly nature, Dr. Kethvar decided to let the humans teach him their medical methods. It went against all his training, but his training had nearly killed Jake with safe medicine. Okay, he said to Amy and Jake. Show me how human medicine works. Amy grinned. First lesson, clean water is the best medicine in the universe. Water? Dr. Mordag asked. That's not medicine. Sure it is, Jake said. Clean water flushes out toxins, helps blood flow, and keeps your body working right. Most human health problems can be fixed with enough clean water. Amy demonstrated by washing her cuts with plain water. See? No fancy chemicals needed. Just clean the dirt out and let the body heal itself. Dr. Kethvar watched as Amy's cuts looked better almost immediately. The simple act of cleaning them with water had removed infection risks and allowed natural healing to begin. What about the metal in Jake's stomach? Thaisara asked. That's trickier, Amy said. Jake, show them how to check if it's dangerous. Jake pressed gently around the metal piece. First, you check if it's bleeding. Not bleeding? Good sign. Next, you check if it's moving around. Not moving? Also good. Finally, you check if it's causing other problems. What kind of other problems? Dr. Kethvar asked. Pain when I move. Certain ways, trouble eating, fever, stuff like that, Jake said. Right now it's just sitting there not bothering anything. So we leave it alone. This was completely opposite to everything Dr. Kethvar had learned. His training said to remove foreign objects immediately. But what if it causes infection? He asked. Then we'll deal with infection when it happens, Amy said. But human bodies are pretty good at preventing infection around foreign objects. We've got a lot of practice. Practice? Dr. Mordag asked. Humans get things stuck in them all the time, Jake explained. Splinters, thorns, pieces of glass, metal fragments. Our bodies know how to handle it. Amy showed Dr. Kethvar how to properly examine Jake's wound. See how the skin has grown around the metal? That's the body creating a barrier to prevent infection. Pulling the metal out now would break that barrier and make things worse. Dr. Kethvar looked closer. Amy was right. Jake's body had essentially healed around the foreign object, isolating it and preventing it from causing damage. How long can he leave it in there? Thaisara asked. Depends, Amy said. I know people who've had bullet fragments in their bodies. For decades, as long as it's not causing problems, why risk surgery to remove it? Surgery to remove foreign objects is dangerous? Dr. Kethvar asked. All surgery is dangerous, Jake said. Human doctors only do surgery when not doing surgery is more dangerous than doing it. This was a completely different philosophy from galactic medicine, where advanced procedures were routine and safe. What about my broken arm? Amy asked. Want to see how we set bones? Dr. Mordag had already set Amy's arm, but she showed them the human technique anyway. It was much simpler than the alien method. First, you make sure the bone pieces line up right, she said, demonstrating on Dr. Kethvar's arm. Then you hold them in place so they can grow back together. That's what I did, Dr. Mordag said. Right. But then you wanted to put me in some kind of healing chamber, Amy said. Humans don't do that. We just wrap it up and keep using it carefully. You use a broken arm while it heals? Thyssara asked. Sure, Amy said. Movement helps bones heal stronger. If you don't use it, the bone grows back weak. She showed them how to make a simple sling from cloth. This supports the arm, but still lets me move it. Pain tells me if I'm doing something that might damage the healing. Dr. Kethavar watched Amy move her broken arm carefully. She winced when she moved it wrong, but the pain was clearly helping her understand what was safe and what wasn't. Pain is information, Jake said. It tells you what to avoid. If you block all the pain with medicine, you can't tell when you're hurting yourself. But pain is bad, Dr. Mordag said. It causes stress and slows healing. Some pain is bad, Amy agreed, but some pain is useful. You have to learn the difference. She showed them how humans managed pain through breathing exercises. Deep, slow breaths help your body relax and handle pain better. Dr. Kethvar tried the breathing technique. It actually did make him feel calmer and more focused. What about serious injuries? He asked. Surely humans use advanced medicine for those. Define serious, Jake said. Dr. Kethvar thought about it. Life-threatening injuries that require immediate intervention. Like what Jake has? Amy asked. Yes, exactly like what Jake has. Amy and Jake looked at each other and laughed. Doc, what Jake has isn't serious by human standards, Amy said. Serious would be if the metal was moving around and cutting up his insides, or if he was bleeding heavily, or if he couldn't breathe or think clearly. But he has metal through his liver, Dr. Kethvar protested, and his liver is healing around it, Jake said. Problem solved. Human bodies are really good at working around damage. Dr. Kethvar was beginning to understand that human and alien definitions of serious injury were very different. What would be a serious injury to humans? Thyssara asked. Massive blood loss, brain damage, spine damage, or multiple organ failure, Amy said. Things that the body can't fix on its own. And even then, Jake added, humans can survive things. That would kill most aliens. We're really hard to kill permanently. Dr. Mordag was taking notes. So human medicine focuses on supporting natural healing rather than intervening with technology. Exactly, Amy said. Our bodies evolved to heal themselves. The best medicine just helps that process along. What about prevention? Dr. Kethvar asked. Clean water, good food, exercise, and don't do stupid things, Jake said. That prevents most health problems. Don't do stupid things? Thyssara asked. Well, try not to, Amy said with a grin. Though humans do a lot of stupid things anyway, that's why we had to evolve to be so tough. Dr. Kethvar realized that human medicine was both simpler and more complex than alien medicine. Simpler because it relied on natural processes. More complex because it required understanding exactly what the human body could and couldn't handle. 3 days later, Dr. Kethvar could hardly believe what he was seeing. Amy Carter was using her broken arm to help repair equipment on her ship. The bone was healing so fast that she barely needed the sling anymore. How is this possible? He asked Amy as she worked with a wrench. Bones like to be used while they heal, Amy said. Gives them something to do. If I just sat around babying this arm, it would heal weak and crooked. Dr. Kethvar scanned Amy's arm with his medical equipment. The bone fragments had not only reconnected, they were growing stronger than before. The break was becoming the strongest part of the bone. Your bone is healing better than it was originally, he told her. Yeah, that happens, Amy said. Broken bones usually heal stronger than they were before. Bodies learn from damage. Meanwhile, Jake Morrison was doing even more impossible things. He was lifting heavy equipment and crawling through tight spaces to fix his ship. The metal piece was still in his stomach, but it wasn't slowing him down at all. "Doesn't that hurt?" Dr. Mordag asked, as Jake squeezed through a narrow maintenance hatch. "Sure it hurts," Jake said from inside the machinery. "But hurt and damaged are different things. I'm hurt, but I'm not damaged." Dr. Kethvar scanned Jake again. The metal fragment had become completely surrounded by scar tissue. Jake's liver had grown new pathways around the damaged area. His body had essentially rebuilt itself to work around the injury. "Your liver has developed alternative circulation patterns," Dr. Kethvar said. "It's functioning at full capacity despite the trauma." "Bodies are smart," Jake said. "They figure out ways to work around problems." Thesara was monitoring both humans' vital signs constantly. What she found amazed her. "Their healing rate is accelerating," she reported. "They're actually getting better faster as time goes on." "How is that possible?" Dr. Mordag asked. "Human bodies get better at healing the more they practice," Amy explained. "Injury activates healing systems that make everything work better." Dr. Kethvar had never heard of such a thing. In most species, injury made healing slower and less effective. "What do you mean by healing systems?" he asked. "Well, when I broke my arm, my body started producing extra bone-building cells," Amy said. "But it didn't just send them to my arm, it sent them everywhere. So all my bones are getting stronger right now." Jake nodded. "Same with the metal in my gut. My body is producing extra healing cells to deal with the injury, but those cells are fixing other small problems too. I actually feel better now than I did before the accident." Dr. Kethvar checked his scanners again. Jake was right. His body was repairing small tissue damage throughout his system. Old scars were fading. Minor muscle strains were healing. It was like the injury had triggered a complete system upgrade. "This is medically impossible," Dr. Mordag said. "Not for humans," Amy said. "We call it getting tougher. Every injury makes us a little bit harder to hurt next time." Dr. Kethvar realized he was witnessing something that challenged everything medical science knew about biology. These humans weren't just healing from their injuries. They were becoming stronger because of them. "Do all humans heal like this?" Thesara asked. "Pretty much," Jake said. "Some are better at it than others, but everyone gets tougher as they get older. That's why human grandparents are so hard to kill." "Your elderly are stronger than your young?" Dr. Kethvar asked. "In some ways," Amy said. "They've survived more injuries, so their bodies know how to handle more problems. A 70-year-old human who's lived an active life is practically indestructible." Dr. Kethvar thought about his own species. As they aged, they became more fragile and easier to injure, but humans seemed to work the opposite way. "What about diseases?" Dr. Mordag asked. "Do you get stronger from those too?" "Sure," Jake said. "Every disease we survive teaches our immune system how to fight similar diseases. That's why human children get sick a lot, but human adults rarely get sick at all. We deliberately expose our children to diseases so they'll be immune later," Amy added. "It's called vaccination." "You intentionally make your children sick?" Thesara asked in horror. "Just a little bit sick," Amy said. "With weakened versions of diseases. It teaches their immune systems how to fight the real thing." Dr. Kethvar was taking notes as fast as he could. Human medicine wasn't just about treating injury and disease. It was about making humans stronger and more resistant to future problems. So human medical philosophy is to make the patient tougher rather than just fix the immediate problem, he asked. "Exactly," Jake said. "There's no point in fixing something if it's just going to break again the same way." Amy demonstrated by showing Dr. Kethvar some scars on her hands. "See these? I got these learning how to work with sharp tools when I was a kid. Each scar taught me something about being more careful. Scars are like medals, Jake said. They show that you survived something that could have killed you. Dr. Kethvar looked at his own smooth, unscarred hands. In his culture, scars were seen as medical failures, but to humans they were proof of survival and learning. "How many injuries have you survived?" he asked Jake. Jake thought for a moment. Broken bones, cuts, burns, falls, getting hit by things, getting bitten by animals, food poisoning, diseases, accidents. I don't know. Hundreds, maybe thousands of small injuries over the years. And each one made you stronger? A little bit, Jake said. That's how humans work. We get better by surviving bad things. Dr. Kethvar realized that these humans had lived through more trauma in their lifetimes than most aliens would experience in 10 lifetimes. And instead of being damaged by it, they had been strengthened. "You're not just tough," he said slowly. "You're actively improved by adversity. Now." "You're getting it, Doc," Amy said. "Humans don't just survive difficult things, we get better because of them." Dr. Kethvar looked at his medical equipment with new understanding. All of it was designed to fix problems and return patients to their original condition. But human medicine was designed to make patients better than they were before. No wonder. "Our treatments don't work on you," he said. "We're trying to restore you to baseline, but you don't want baseline. You want improvement." "Exactly," Jake said. "Why go backwards when you can go forwards?" 1 week after the rescue, Dr. Kethvar watched Jake Morrison and Amy Carter prepare to leave the medical ship. Both humans were completely healed and actually seemed healthier than when they had arrived. Jake's liver had fully regenerated around the metal fragment. The foreign object was now permanently sealed inside healthy tissue, causing no problems at all. Amy's broken arm was stronger than it had been before the injury. Her bones had grown thicker and denser during the healing process. "I can't believe you're both ready to leave so soon," Dr. Mordag said. "Most species would need months to recover from injuries like yours." "We heal fast," Amy said cheerfully. "It's one of our better features." Dr. Kethvar had spent the week writing new medical protocols for treating humans. The guidelines were completely different from standard galactic medical procedures. "Treatment protocol for humans," he read from his notes. "Step 1, clean water and basic first aid only. Step 2, let the patient tell you what they need. Step 3, stay out of their way while they heal themselves." "That sounds about right," Jake said. "Though you might want to add step 4, don't panic when they do impossible things." "I've added that too," Dr. Kethvar said with a smile, "along with warnings about human pain tolerance, healing speed, and resistance to standard medications." Thisara had been updating the Galactic Medical Database with their findings. "I've marked the human file with new warnings," she said. "Standard medical protocols not recommended. Species exhibits extraordinary self-healing capabilities. Medical intervention should be minimal and focused on support rather than treatment." "Perfect," Amy said. "That should keep future doctors from accidentally poisoning us with alien medicine." Dr. Kethvar had also been corresponding with other medical facilities throughout the galaxy. Several had reported similar experiences with human patients, trying to help them with standard treatments and making things worse instead. "There's a hospital on Rigel 7 that treated a human construction worker," Dr. Kethvar said. "They tried to heal his broken ribs with regeneration. Therapy, his ribs grew back so thick that he couldn't breathe properly." "Ouch," Jake said. "Yeah, you have to be careful with human bones. They tend to overdo it if you stimulate them too much." "What happened to the construction worker?" Dr. Mordag asked. "They had to break his ribs again and let them heal naturally," Dr. Kethvar said. "He was fine after that, but it took 3 times as long as if they had just left him alone in the first place." Amy laughed. "That's humans for you. We're easy to help if you do it right, but easy to mess up if you do it wrong." Dr. Kethvar had learned more about medicine in 1 week with these humans than in years of conventional training. They had challenged everything he thought he knew about healing and recovery. "I want to ask you something," he said to Jake and Amy. Would you be willing to let me write a paper about treating humans? Other doctors need to know what I've learned. Sure, Jake said. Just make sure you mention that human medicine is really simple. Clean wounds, set bones, give us time and basic supplies, and stay out of our way. And mention that we're not being tough just to show off, Amy added. We literally can't help being this resilient. It's just how we're built. Dr. Kethvar nodded. I'll make sure other doctors understand that human toughness is biological, not behavioral. As the humans prepared to return to their ship, Dr. Mordag asked a question that had been bothering him. Don't you ever get tired of being so tough? He asked. Doesn't it get exhausting to handle so much pain and injury? Jake and Amy looked at each other thoughtfully. I guess we don't think about it much, Amy said. It's just normal for us, like asking if you get tired of breathing. Plus, being tough has advantages, Jake said. We can explore dangerous places, try new things, and take risks that other species can't. Our toughness gives us freedom. What kind of freedom? Thaisara asked. Freedom to go anywhere and try anything, Amy said. Most aliens have to be really careful about where they travel and what they do. Humans can go almost anywhere and survive almost anything. Dr. Kethvar realized that human resilience wasn't just about surviving injury. It was about being able to live without fear of the unknown. That's why humans are such good explorers, he said. You're not afraid of getting hurt because you know you can recover from almost anything. Exactly, Jake said. Fear of injury stops most species from taking risks. But humans know that getting hurt isn't the end of the world. It's just something that happens. As the humans gathered their belongings, Amy turned to the medical team with a grin. Hey, if you ever want to visit Earth, you're welcome anytime. Just bring good hiking boots and maybe some basic first aid supplies. Why first aid supplies? Dr. Mordag asked. Because you'll probably get hurt, Jake said matter-of-factly. Earth is pretty rough on visitors. But don't worry. We'll patch you up and you'll have great stories to tell. What kind of injuries should we expect? Thaisara asked nervously. Oh, the usual, Amy said. Cuts, bruises, maybe a broken bone or two. Possibly some food poisoning from eating human food. Nothing serious. Dr. Kethvar realized that what humans considered nothing serious would be major medical emergencies for most other species. Maybe we should visit virtually first, he said. Jake and Amy laughed as they headed toward the airlock connecting to their ship. Thanks for everything, Doc, Jake called back. And remember, when in doubt with human patients, just give us some water and get out of our way. Will do, Dr. Kethvar called back. Safe travels, and try not to get any more metal stuck in yourselves. No promises, Amy shouted as the airlock closed. Dr. Kethvar watched through the viewport as the human ship undocked and prepared to jump to hyperspace. Jake and Amy were already back to work, repairing the last of their ship's damage and planning their next exploration mission. They're incredible, Dr. Mordag said. I've never seen anything like them. Neither have I, Dr. Kethvar agreed. But now I understand why humans are becoming so successful throughout the galaxy. They're not just tough. They're unstoppable. The human ship disappeared into hyperspace, carrying its impossibly resilient crew toward their next adventure. Dr. Kethvar turned back to his medical bay with a new understanding of what it meant to be human. He updated his computer files one more time, adding a final note to the human medical protocols. Remember, what doesn't kill a human makes them stronger, and it's very, very difficult to kill a human.